Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Green here with knowmorenews.org. Thank you for joining me. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020, and today we're going to be talking about the true meaning of shalom, the Jewish word, one of the most commonly heard Jewish words. Of course, knowmorenews.org. I put up a new video on BitChute exclusive. Goyim are, quote, born anti-Semites, and, quote, the Jewish mission is to conquer earth, a short compilation from Kabbalah Rabbi Laitman. I've been suspended off Twitter all day today. They didn't even tell me the tweet. They showed just an empty tweet with nothing that got me suspended for half a day, for 12 hours. So that's going on. But today we're going to talk about the true meaning of shalom in the true original context. It's a word we hear all the time. It supposedly is Jewish people say it when they meet, when they leave, and it translates as peace. But we're going to get into what peace means in their religion and what this shalom word really means. Going to have a nice, I think I'm using of this one for the thumbnail for BitChute. But shalom is a Hebrew word meaning peace, harmony, wholeness, completeness, prosperity, welfare, and tranquility, and can be used idiomatically to mean both hello and goodbye. And we're going to talk about another meaning, the original meaning to this, and the most important meaning that people need to keep in mind when they hear it. So, one word that can explain so many different descriptions: wholeness, harmony, prosperity. So let's start here. Here's my intro.
Shalom is, of course, shalom. Shalom, Jackie. Shalom. 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 Thank you, Jackie. Shalom. Shalom to you all. Of course, shalom.
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 Shalom. Rancho.
Jewish blessings upon you.
Yes, shalom.
Shalom.
Even the word peace.
Okay, so this is what triggered me to make this video and some other stuff that I've covered in the past. But this is a compilation about what shalom and peace really means. This is a short minute-and-a-half excerpt from Dan Barker's book, God, the Most Unpleasant Character in All of Fiction. Listen to what he has to say about shalom.
Even the word peace does not mean what most believers think it means. Shalom did not mean inner calm or let's be friends. Like be still, it was also a term of military submission. Peace in the Old Testament meant pacification. Like the Pax Romana, it was achieved not through reasonable persuasion and respectful cooperation, but through the violent imperial conquest of all neighboring nations and potential warring rivals. The Israelites were told to occupy their own territory by genocide, see chapter 13, but neighboring, far-off territory was treated somewhat differently. Pacification was achieved when the residents of a town that did not worship the Lord jealous were either killed or turned into slaves.
When you draw near to a town to fight against it, offer it terms of peace.
Shalom.
If it accepts your terms of peace and surrenders to you, then all the people in it shall serve you at forced labor.
Peace and shalom, according to the original Hebrew Torah, means for the other nations to submit to the Jewish religion.
If it does not submit to you peacefully, but makes war against you, then you shall besiege it. And when the Lord your God gives it into your hand, you shall put all its males to the sword. You may, however, take as your booty the women, the children, livestock, and everything else in the town, all its spoil. You may enjoy the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given you.
Deuteronomy 20:10-14. When the military threat of neighboring people is neutralized by violent force, then you can be still. In the Old Testament, even peace is a form of bullying.
So that is what shalom means in the biblical context. Once again, the most important word up front.
Even the word peace does not mean what most believers think it means. Shalom did not mean inner calm or let's be friends. Like be still, it was also a term of military submission.
Military submission. That's what shalom means. They will give you peace. They won't kill you if you submit to them and their jealous God.
Peace in the Old Testament meant pacification.
Pacification.
Like the Pax Romana.
Okay, so now you think he's not telling the truth? Here we have, courtesy David Sheen's YouTube, Rabbi Yisrael Ariel. And I'm going to read through his, do the translation here. Well, this translation's from their website, but here we go. What power does the Sanhedrin, that's the Jewish rabbinical courts that want to uphold the Noahide laws, have with respect to other nations of the world? Let's say they come here and decide to put on trial and sentence to some punishment or other. Pope Francis or Obama. They think they have... Somewhere it is written what must be done about it. We read it earlier, although not all of it. This is in the name of Maimonides. Maimonides says, this is what the Torah commanded us, what Moses commanded us from the mouth of the mighty God. When Maimonides says this, it means that it is a commandment from the Torah to take action. Where is it written? Deuteronomy 20:10. When thou drawest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. What does it mean by peace? What is it meant by shalom? Maimonides says that they must agree to follow the 7 Noahide laws. They always say, oh, we don't force you to convert. Really, they say you can't be Jewish. You have to be a Noahide, which acknowledges the Jewish people as God's chosen people that have a special role in the Messianic age, and you can't criticize them. You must have a special devotion and affinity to them. That's what it means. Your complete submission, or you will be violently conquered and destroyed. So why do you call for war? Stay at home. Why go to war? Because it is a commandment from the Torah to take action. Just as there is a commandment to conquer the land of Israel, there is a commandment to fight, quote, sanctioned wars. So they're not talking about conquering the promised land or destroying their archenemy, the Amalek, the Amalekites. This is just any other Gentile nation. They believe it is a sanctioned war to force them to comply with their Noahide laws or be destroyed. That's what peace means to these people. There are commandments. It is written. In a sanctioned war, if you see an attractive woman, then there is another commandment. Can you marry the woman? And if so, how? These are the commandments from the Torah. Who makes the decision to embark on a sanctioned war? King David asked the Sanhedrin, may I embark on a war with northern Syria and Aleppo? Maimonides says that King David went to the Sanhedrin and asked if he could go out and conquer. Everything that David did was sanctioned by the high court. That's what Maimonides says. Then he went out to conquer northern Syria and Aleppo. The conquest by the people of Israel. Living in Israel and Jerusalem, you try them in court. You decide that they deserve all kinds of punishments, and so on. You summon them to court. And you decide whether to go for broke over it. That's not how it works. The law is differently for them. They have a 2-tier legal system. Your second-class citizen, or not even a human, really. You're a beast if you're a Gentile to them. And these are the people that go around saying that they're the moral, ethical monotheism, and they're a light unto the nations, and they're the what's the word they always use? They're the I can't think of it right now. Israel, you take them and put them on trial. The beacon that everybody is, they're supposed to be set an example for the world. That's what they claim. You take a convert to Judaism who did not follow the religious laws, the Noahide laws, you judge him and punish him. But the non-Jews who do not follow, you heard him say goyim too, the non-Jews that do not follow the 7 Noahide laws, such as thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not steal, and most importantly, thou shalt not blaspheme God or his chosen people, or idol worship, which is Christianity. You proclaim peace to them, meaning you ask them, do you follow the 7 laws? If so, we will allow you to live. This is what shalom and peace means. Follow the 7 Noahide laws or be destroyed. Be a Noahide or be Amalek. The choice is yours. Worship us and we'll allow you to live. And they say that opposing this and resisting this and exposing this is anti-Semitism. That means it's anti-Semitism to oppose and resist our own enslavement. If not, you kill all their males by sword. You leave only the women so they can take as concubines and rape them. How do you leave them? They must all agree to follow the 7 laws. And that is how you impose the 7 laws on that city, by peace, by shalom. Someone just said, we don't have the might to fight. But who decides if we might have might or not? God. He gives you the might to raise an army. As soon as they have the power to impose their laws on the rest of the world, they will do it. Therefore, he is the one who commanded us to go from cities to city to conquer them. No conspiracy. This is all tropes. This is just anti-Semitic, age-old, ancient hatred tropes about the Jews wanting to rule the world, even though it's all over all their books and all over YouTube with all their rabbis, hours and hours and days and weeks of evidence of them saying it from the horse's mouth. And to impose the 7 laws throughout the world, that is the job of the Messiah, among others. He does not come as the Messiah, he comes to carry out the commandments. You conquer a city, and they follow the 7 laws. We will conquer Iraq, Turkey, we will get to Iran too, and you know they're going to get Edom. We will impose the 7 Noahide laws on all of these places, but installing them does not mean with courts. Rather, it means with war. But not to just kill, just the opposite. You say, I call upon you in peace. Let's say Orwell, war is peace, right? Wonder if he got that from these psychotic rabbis. Call upon you in peace. If they raise the flag of surrender and say from now on there is no more Christianity, because to be a Noahide, you can't be a Christian. No more Islam, although Maimonides says Islam is Noahide compliant, they still consider it horrendously heretical. The mosques and the Christian spires and their crosses come down. From now on, we follow the 7 Noahide laws. And then there's Christians all over the internet trying to say that, oh, don't listen to those fear-mongers that are warning Christians about the 7 Noahide laws. There's nothing to worry about. In fact, they're actually a good thing. This is the task of the Messiah, to bring the entire world to the 7 laws. For real. This is not a matter for court hearings. It is something to carry out, plain and simple. The Torah says it, we do it. Plain and simple, no questions asked. Although the 7 Noahide laws aren't even in the Torah, it's from the Talmud. Therefore, Maimonides says that if you see a person in the street who does not follow the 7 laws, what do? This is what he says. If we have the might, you have to kill them. If you catch the President Obama, you know that he does not follow the 7 Noahide laws, same punishment. The sooner the better. This is why we have Maimonides. This is why we have Maimonides. Chabad Lubavitch, who loves Maimonides, here says in their article, telling the truth and when it is permissible to be less than honest. We read how Jacob deceived Esau. They take great pride in Jacob deceiving Esau, and Jacob defeating Esau's satanic guardian angel Samael with his cunning and being subtle, understanding the permissibility to lie. We find that in certain circumstances it is permissible or even commendable to lie to the goyim. We are told a lie told to promote peace is not included at all in the prohibition of telling lies. So shalom, the true meaning of shalom, peace, when you come and declare peace, means submit to them or be destroyed. And apparently, since promoting peace is imposing the Noahide laws on the goyim, on the nations, they are allowed to lie to promote the 7 Noahide laws. What is meant by peace? Maimonides says they must agree to follow the 7 Noahide laws. When thou drawest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. It's like going over to your neighbor's house and saying you're going to burn it down if they don't worship you and give you all their money and start serving you and then say, oh, we offered them peace. This is psychotic. There are some circumstances under which one is allowed to be deceptive in order to recoup losses that are owed to them. Well, they believe that the Romans destroyed their temple and persecuted them, and Christian and in Edom, they deserve to be destroyed. It's in the prophecies. They've persecuted them. They are satanic and impure and beasts of the field. So they are allowed to be deceptive to recoup, just like Jacob grabbed the heel of Esau and wanted to come out first, the twin that wanted to come out first, and then he used deception to trick Esau out of his birthright and trick his father Isaac out of the birthright and the blessing. They are allowed to use deception. They are commanded to use deception to exploit the Gentiles. So they think, oh, their religion is being persecuted, so they can argue everything is recouping losses. They say, oh, the Shoah, the Holocaust, they can do whatever they want now and be deceptive because they had losses. That's the mentality. So here's another rabbi explaining about how it is their commandment to conquer.
Rabbi Eliezer Kashtiel explains the true reason for war and why waging war supersedes even the Holy Sabbath. Rabbi Kashtiel is the head of the High Yeshiva of Army veterans in the settlement of Elite.
Highly respected rabbi that teaches the yeshiva students. And it's funny, these people all the time act like they're the moral ones. They're the ones that are going to police everybody's speech and tell everybody what to do. And their whole religion is about that they're better, they're superior. Every non-Jew is evil and darkness and satanic, and that they're going to rule over us, and that they're going to conquer the world with war and violence and take the women and destroy the babies and all this stuff. This is primitive, ancient, barbaric religion, and it's still ruling the world today, not just with Judaism but with Islam and Christianity as well.
His voice is by no means marginal. Besides being a religious authority, Rabbi Kashtiel belongs to the religious Zionist movement, a major power in Israel and especially in the military and political arena.
כשאנחנו דנים על מלחמה בישראל, בארץ
war,
ישראל, אנחנו צריכים לשים לב שיש שני צדדים.
Okay, sorry, I thought this was going to be in, thought it was all dubbed. Game -6, here we go. He says, when we discuss war in Israel, in Eretz Israel, we must note two aspects. There is one aspect, nefesh, which is saving a Jewish life, but they're not just playing defense here. They're crying out in pain as they strike you. And there is a different aspect, not related to saving souls. We are in no danger. Our hand is strong. It is our duty to conquer. So this isn't just them defending themselves. Israel's just defending ourselves. That's their mantra that you hear at PragerU and Dershowitz and all the Zionist propagandists. Well, we have the right to defend ourselves. Well, this is what their religion teaches. The Jewish religion of the Jewish state. It is their duty to conquer. That's what they believe. As explained by the Rambam, once again, Maimonides. No need to split hairs. Explained by Ramban, a holy commandment to conquer Eretz Israel, the land of Israel. It is their duty to conquer. And since we are commanded to conquer, it overrides the Sabbath.
וכיוון שחובה לכבוש,
From 770,
now, this is a clip I put up the other day on Twitter and on BitChute. This is the musical act at the Chabad conference that they had this year. And listen to what he says. More about conquering the nations.
from 770, we're marching down onto victory without a doubt. To cornerstone, we're marching happily. Oh, nation after nation, we are conquering. Oh, nation after nation, we are conquering.
Nation after nation, we are conquering. How loving, how tolerant. See, their religion isn't, isn't peace, isn't tolerance. It isn't live and let live. It is, we must destroy every other nation that has other gods and other religions and other cultures and make them worship us and our God. Make us worship the God that chose us. That's what they're doing. And they go, oh, we're not supremacists. It's actually humbling. It's a burden that we have to convert the whole world into worshiping the religion of our God and that chose us as his people. Now here we have Rabbi Laitman saying that they are aliens sent here to conquer the world. And that's what the Jewish Tikkun Olam, the light into the nations, means, to conquer the earth.
This entire planet, we are aliens. We're coming from a different galaxy. We received this ray of light, this awakening, individually, and now we're gathering as groups, starting to prep ourselves to conquer Earth. That's the mission.
That's the mission. They're here to conquer Earth. That's the mission.
To conquer Earth. That's the mission. Thanks to that original natural force we have, we will take over. We'll take over those living on Earth.
Take over those living on Earth. And even Rabbi Laitman here teaching to auditorium full of Jews, even they're a little shocked by his open supremacy. Now here's another example.
But the point is right here that Hashem say, do not have mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? There's no difference between them and their children. In 10 years from now, these children will attack you on the way. Hashem knows. God knows.
This is the moral ones. This is the chosen ones in the light into the nations. Kill the children that may grow up and not want to worship Jews. That are Amalek. He's talking about Amalek right now when you kill all their children and all the oxen and everything. Amalek, I have a whole hour-long video up on Amalek. Thought I had it in the It was a couple weeks ago. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put the link down below. Amalek, it's important you guys see that, and the ones about Noahide laws. Amalek, go along with their Zionist agenda or be exterminated, and that's not even it.
You kill all men and all women, me'olel ve'ad yonek, even babies who breastfeed. Amazing. Mishor ve'ad seh, all oxes, all goats, camels, donkeys. Don't leave anything, any memory from this filthy nation.
I've talked about Amalek so much. It's a blood libel, an ancient hate against anybody that opposes them. Anybody willing to, that doesn't believe that they're chosen, that doesn't believe in the Torah and their God, that is considered Amalek to them. And they literally say, God tells them to kill even the nursing babies. And then YouTube has a hate speech policy where you're not allowed to incite hate towards any religion. So there's religions that talk about killing my babies for opposing Zionism. And they believe this is their commandment. This is the 613th. It's a mitzvah to kill Amalek. And this is what they're doing right now, openly saying it everywhere. We expose it. We get attacked by their cronies at the ADL and Google and their social media cartel of monopolies. So I expose this hateful supremacist religion, and then people don't like it, so that incites hate, and I get censored. That's the protection racket that they have going on with these scumbags.
Any memory from this filthy nation.
Pour out your wrath on the nations that do not acknowledge you, on the kingdoms that do not call on your name. Pour out the wrath. All of the Torah, the Old Testament, the Talmud, the Zohar is all about destroying their enemies and about how much better they are than all the non-Jews. It's the most supremacist religion on earth. And they're paraded around and everybody has like this respect for them, that they're somehow like wise and moral. Pathetic. For they have devoured Jacob and destroyed his homeland. Always try to spin it like they're just defending themselves, even though it's blood libel with their myths that pin them against all the non-Jews. What did that say? I missed it. We asked the Jewish people, you do not want to read from the Haggadah and the Passover table citing the killing of non-Jews? Does anyone want to change the Bible? The statement of the Torah, the written Torah or the oral Torah? There is no opposition, but the rabbis of Israel came and clearly stated that they have no opposition. They don't allow anybody to oppose them. Oppose them, you will be destroyed. There is opposition, but the rabbi, they cited the written Torah and oral Torah. Here's another one.
There is such a concept in Jewish laws as any population, and under very, very specific circumstances, according to various rabbinic opinions, it would be seemingly permissible to kill children.
Permissible to kill children because their religion tells them so.
Very, very specific circumstances according to...
These people are genocidal. This is a genocidal religion that has a death wish for all the non-Jews that don't want to worship them. Wanting to kill children.
To kill children.
Surely you know what the Talmud states. Why are they called Jews? This is Ariel Sharon, the butcher, the prime minister of Israel on 9/11 with the Chabad Lubavitch Rebbe. They are called Jews because they reject idol worship. So they say, oh, we're going to destroy all the idol worshipers. In the end times, we're going to decapitate the idol worshipers, which they don't listen to any Christian lying to you saying that they don't think Christianity is idol worship. They 100% do. I've seen almost everywhere I look, they always say, yes, it's idol worship. Christianity. The Torah tells us that the idol worship means anything foreign to the Jewish people. So according to this interpretation, They feel they're justified to destroy all idol worship, and idol worship is anything that's not Jewish. Doesn't take much logic to follow this to its logical conclusion. They reject it.
Kadosh Baruch Hu is telling you, you have to make a choice. Either you're 100% with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, or you're with the rest of the garbage of the world. Right now we have almost 8 billion people in the world. 99.999% of them are Reshaim Gmurim.
Evil goyim, idol worshiping goyim. That's what he says. 99% of the world is garbage. That's what he believes.
Christians, almost 2.5 billion of them, all idolaters. What do you think? Kadosh Baruch Hu thinks they're tzaddikim?
Christianity is considered idols worshipping. It's Avodah Zarah, but not Islam.
Christianity's idol worship. There's another one.
As it is explained by the Ramban in the Chidushim to Masechet Makot Daf Teth, and as it is explained by other Rishonim, the assumption is, when it comes to a non-Jew whom we do not know,
and this is sped up to 115%, and he's still slow. This guy talks so slow.
Someone we haven't met or we don't know much about him, the assumption is that he does not live according to the Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Noach. He doesn't keep the 7 Noahide laws. And therefore, essentially, this person is Hayav Mitha. He's guilty of a capital offense, whether it's this one or that one, whether it's stealing or adultery or murder or Avodah Zarah or what have you.
Or blasphemy or idol worship. He goes, oh, you cannot steal, you cannot kill. Like, okay, everybody agrees with those. What about the other ones?
Avodah Zarah, of course, was perhaps the most common, the most standard, the most ubiquitous Avirah, which you could also see with your own eyes, not one of those activities which people tend to do behind closed doors. It was a well-known fact, these people worship Avodah Zarah. So that already, according to the Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Noach, makes that person liable for the punishment of Mitha, of being put to death.
You worship another god, and the punishment is you are put to death. That's what the Noahide laws are.
However, you can't just put a person to death without bringing him before a court.
Not just the non-Jews, also a Jew. If he doesn't act like a Jew, he is not considered. The Torah tells you to kill him if you have to. Yeah, it's the same rule for Jews, too. If Jews that become Christians, death penalty. Jews that don't believe, they have Amalek spirit. Of course, there are Jewish law. According to the Torah, I am saying.
I respect you, respect me.
Doesn't have to respect you.
Huh?
This is a Christian trying to preach on the streets in Israel, getting harassed by these IDF young female soldiers and being threatened on the street by religious supremacists.
I respect you, respect me.
Doesn't have to respect you.
Huh?
Doesn't have to respect you.
That is
Judaism isn't about respect of other nations. It's about getting other nations, peace upon other nations. Get them to submit and worship you as Noahides. It's not respect. It's not live and let live. It's not tolerance.
the right thing. Are you Jewish? Do you want to honor God? That is the godly thing to do. We respect one another.
The godly thing to do is to kill you.
The godly thing is to kill me.
That's right. That's
Yes?
what the Torah says.
The Torah says to kill us.
The Torah says that people who worship idols such as yourself, when there is a Sanhedrin,
To kill us.
yes.
Okay.
That's what the Torah says.
So we know how the Jewish people feel about Christians, yes? That you discriminate against Christians.
Christians are idol
You
worshippers.
discriminate against
The Torah
Christians.
says that Christianity is idol worship.
Let me
because
ask you.
You worship
three gods with the two fingers up. You worship three gods in your idol worship, and they're taught to kill you. This is what they teach in the yeshivas.
Let me ask.
Here, let me back that up a second.
Discriminate against Christians.
Christians are idol
You
worshippers.
discriminate
the
against
Torah
Christians.
says that Christianity is idol worship.
Let me
because
ask you.
You worship three
Let
gods.
me ask.
Yeah, the Torah doesn't mention Christianity, by the way. Maimonides, the Rambams, Islam good, Christianity bad, Muslims bad, Christians good. Listen to what he has to say. 12th century scholar, philosopher, and religious commentator Maimonides is considered one of the main foundations of modern Jewish law and the most widely accepted authority on Jewish philosophy. There are huge differences between our views of Islam and of Christianity. The former generally considered a fine religion for Gentiles. The former is Islam. The latter considered essentially idol worship. This is from the Jewish press. It's difficult to describe traditional Judaism without Maimonides. What he says on these issues is followed and adhered by the vast majority of observant Jews, including Ben Shapiro, who's always citing his Jewish hero Maimonides. I did a video about that. Ben Shapiro's Jewish Heroes. I will put the link for that below in BitChute as well. Halakically, so religious law, Maimonides says in 3 distinct places that the Christians are idol worshippers. He says all idol worshippers and all their holidays are forbidden, and we deal with them regarding religious issues as we would pagans. And then he adds, therefore, one must know that in every one of the Christian nation cities which has an altar, meaning their house of worship, it is a pagan house of idolatry without any doubt. In the uncensored version, Maimonides issues the edict, quote, the Christians are idol worshippers, and Sunday is their religious holiday. Therefore, we may not trade with them on Thursday and Friday of every week, needless to say, on Sunday, which is forbidden. Trade in this context refers especially to paying back loans, which would enhance their joy on the day of their idol. Very loving. The Christians are idol worshippers, and the regular wine is forbidden, if forbidden to be consumed. Maimonides defends Islam against the popular accusations of his day. He says, these Ishmaelites, so Ishmael, the progenitor of the Arabs in Islam, are not idol worshippers in the least, and paganism has been long since cut off from their mouths and their hearts, and they worship the singular God properly and without any blemish. And there's many more how he says from this article. I suggest you guys read the whole thing. It's titled, Maimonides, Islam good, Christianity bad, Muslims bad, Christians good. He also talks about how Christians are good because it got them to leave their pagan religions and worship the Torah and the God of the Jews, and that they're basically Noahides in process because they're looking towards the Jews for salvation and stuff like that. Bava Metzia 31b, the Talmud, with regard to an idolatrous city, it is written, you shall strike the inhabitants of the city by sword, destroying it utterly. I have derived only that the residents of the idolatrous city are executed with the form of death written with regard to them, decapitation, from where it is derived that if you're unable to execute them with the form of the death written with regard to them, it is permitted for you to execute them with any death with which you are able to execute them. The verse states, Hakataka, to teach you must execute him in any case. Here is Rabbi Cohen at the United Nations. This is his, that's weird, at the United Nations. Universal Noahide UN on Capitol Hill. I did a whole compilation, an hour long, of Rabbi Cohen. He's in the Noahide law video. I'll link that down below as well. And remember how much Freemasons are based. Freemasonry is about the oneness of God. They're Noahide compliant, and they're all about their Freemasonry goes back to Solomon's temple, the first Jewish temple. And they consider themselves Noahides. Noahide is one of the degrees in Freemasonry. They're obsessed with rebuilding the temple, just like these end times Jews are. And I'm going to be doing a whole video about Kabbalah and Freemasonry soon. I read a book on it, and I'm going to be showing clips from Tex Mars's old documentary called Jerusalem and Freemasonry, I think is what it's called. So even on his own website, this guy's at the UN. They take this Rabbi Cohen seriously at the UN. And his website says, that the court is administered the death penalty by the sword, decapitation, for those who don't follow the Noahide laws. And it's interesting because Yana Ben Danoon told me that they removed this from the website. They saw us covering it, thought that it didn't look good, wasn't good optics, so they decided to take it down, but they still believe it. And we'll show you where they are also commanded to lie about what they really believe for peace, so that they don't get hurt when the time is right, basically. Jewish law website says the obligation of Jews to seek observance of Noahide laws by Gentiles, a theoretical review. Maimonides states, once again, Maimonides, their God, Maimonides, who has his bust in our Congress that says that idol worshipers will be beheaded, but they have a portrait of him in Congress. Moses, our teacher, was commanded by God to compel the commandments to the Noahides. All who do not accept are killed. One who accepts them voluntarily can be a resident alien, a Shabbos goy serving them. Maimonides, this is weird. Excuse me, guys. A lot of reading in this one. Maimonides rules that one who takes an adult slave from an idol worshiper and the slave does not wish to be circumcised, slave must keep the 7 commandments obligatory on Noahides, and if not, he is killed immediately. Maimonides, Jewish law as contained in the Pentateuch, and the Talmudic literature. House, chamber, U.S. Capitol. The guy that says he's going to take over the world and kill all the Christians. Maimonides. This is being honored in our nation's capital. I wonder if Israel's capital has any Gentiles, portraits of Gentiles that want to destroy the Jews up in it. I'm guessing not. Probably not. Excuse me. Well, not clear. Okay, where are we? Okay, here's more. A large number of Rishonim appear simply to disagree with the opinion of Maimonides and rule that there is no obligation upon, so this is the dissent, the other side of the argument. There's no obligation upon an individual Jew to impose Noahide rules on Gentiles. They limit the obligation of Jews to impose laws on Noahides to situations that do not now exist and will not in the pre-Messianic era. So they go, oh, no, you don't force the Noahide laws on the Gentiles, not until Moshiach comes, and then they will have to bow or be destroyed. So it's much nicer. Chabad.org, once again, I'm not even going to try that headline. Chapter 9 says, oh wait, this is the Noahide laws, the 7 Noahide laws. Prohibition against worship of false gods. They consider Jesus a false god. Prohibition against cursing God. They consider themselves God's children. You can't curse God's children just like you can't curse his Torah. Anything Jews, you can't curse. And by curse, they mean you have to believe it and go along with it. Otherwise, you're cursing it. A Gentile who transgresses these 7 commandments shall be executed by decapitation. Chabad.org. I love how Dr. Brown goes, oh, they're conspiracy theorists. They're anti-Semites. They think that there's Christians are going to be decapitated. How could they possibly believe that? What's his name? Paul Begley says, oh, it's just anti-Semites. It doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that Christians are going to be beheaded by the Jews and by the Antichrist, the Moshiach. Well, what's this? Revelation 24. I saw thrones on which were seated those who had been given authority to judge, the Noahide judges. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded because of their testimony about Jesus. I have a clip of Begley saying, it's nowhere in the Bible that Christians get beheaded. It doesn't say that anywhere. We have to help the Jews build the temple and usher in their Moshiach. And then Jesus will come and destroy the Antichrist. He's helping the Antichrist in his view. Take some twisted, mental masturbation to justify that, to rationalize that in his head. Anyway. 7 Laws of Noah on Wikipedia. There's a rainbow. It says the punishment. The Talmud lists the punishment for blaspheming the ineffable name of God as death. The sons of Noah are to be executed by decapitation for most crimes. Maimonides, and they have, this is a screenshot, but you go to 24 and 30 here, it links, it's sourced straight from the Talmud. Maimonides states that anyone who does not accept the 7 laws is to be executed, as God compelled the world to follow these laws. JTA says, Rabbi's book says Jews can kill Gentiles. Jews can kill non-Jews who threaten Israel. Anybody that doesn't worship them and go along with their Zionist agenda is interpreted as a threat. Remember, you're either with us or you're with the terrorist. That's the Talmudic logic. You're either with them, you're with the Zionist, you're a good Shabbos Goy, Noahide, worshiping Jews in Israel as the nation of priests and God's chosen people above all the other nations, or you're Amalek and you will be destroyed. You are a threat. Netanyahu and the laws of killing Goyim, Haaretz, Jewish press. They honor these rabbis who say these things too. Israel's becoming a racist society. Judaism and the Torah has been racist for 2,500 years, 2,000 years, in which the prime minister of a country that was founded after the murder of Jews salutes a rabbi who supported a work on the laws of killing non-Jews. And this is the King's Torah, written by a West Bank extremist Talmudic rabbi. I can't remember the source on this. Maybe I can see it here. Noahide law death. This is from online. It's a Jewish site. Punishment for breaking any of the 7 laws, death by decapitation. In the section Laws Before Sinai, the 1906 Jewish Encyclopedia states that with few exceptions, the breaking of the Jewish Noahide laws is punishable by death by decapitation. We also learned the Noahide law set up a 2-tier legal system, one for Jews and one for non-Jews. Chapter 4, Chabad.org. It's a mitzvah to kill minim and apikorsim. The term minim refers to Jewish idolaters or those who perform transgressions for the sake of angering God. Kosher, non-kosher food. The term apikorsim refers to Jews who deny the Torah and the concept of prophecy. So it's a mitzvah to kill Jews who don't believe in the Torah and prophecy. This is what Chabad Lubavitch has on their own website. So it's not just the Goyim who need to be disturbed by this Jewish supremacist creed. It's secular Jews as well. And really religious Jews. They have to be disavowing this or else they're enabling it. If there is the possibility, one should kill them with a sword in public view. If that is not possible, one should develop a plan so that one can cause their deaths. So secretly you can cause their death. This is literally Chabad's website talking about secretly killing people who deny their prophecies and their Torah. You thought I was kidding. That's what Amalek means. With regard to a Gentile idolater with whom we are not at war, a Jewish shepherd of small livestock and the like, by contrast, we should not try to cause their deaths. However, forbidden to save their lives if their lives are threatened. For example, if such person fell into the sea, or they also have a pit or a well, one should not rescue him. Leviticus 19:16 states, "Do not stand idly by while your brother's blood is at stake." This does not apply with regard to such individuals, Gentiles, because they are not your brothers. Love your neighbor as yourself. They consider neighbor means your fellow Jew, not the Gentiles. So they're commanded to hate the Gentiles, not love them, and to destroy them and conquer them. Also, do not kill. The 10 Commandments, do not kill, means do not kill another Jew, your neighbor. Same context here. Shalom. More from the Talmud, Shulchan Aruch, Sefaria, the heretics and those who practice idol worship, so Christianity, or literally worship of the stars, eat forbidden fruits, they are a heretic. In Apicorsim, and those who do not believe in the Torah and in the Jewish prophecy, it is a mitzvah to kill them. If one has strength in his hand to kill them with the sword in public, he should kill them. Again, if they have the strength, they say, oh, 2,000 years of persecution, but in the end, we will get our revenge and we will triumph and we will get our, so this is the promise that there will be better times ahead where they will have the power. They will play out all these psychopathic fantasies that they have here. Mishnah Torah says there are 5 descriptions of Israelites that are called minim, infidels, namely, he who says that there is no God. So they believe you don't believe in their God, they will kill you. Or 2 or more deities, that's talking about Christianity and the Trinity, where Jesus is divine. So these 2 idol worshippers, Apicorsim and Minim, those who cling to idol worship and those who convert from Judaism, who write sacred texts. Now they're talking about the early Jews who became Christians. Convert from Judaism, who write sacred texts. Their texts should not be saved, and on weekdays we burn them with their divine names. Yes, they're taught that they should burn the New Testament. It's funny that they want to complain that throughout history there was, like in France, they burnt all the Talmuds in the streets. What I think is a horrible idea. They should have translated the Talmud and taught it to all the Gentiles. Let the whole world know the psychopathic beliefs that these rabbis hold. But they want to cry about their books being burned. Meanwhile, their books say that they should burn the New Testament. The Babylonian Talmud, Tractate Sabbath, says, ranks as a separate book. Tana agrees. So from here written, why is it written here? What part am I looking for here? All right, we're going to skip this one. I don't see what I'm looking. Oh, here it is. That's the main page. Babylonian Talmud, folio 116a. Bjerknes helped me with this one, with this source. The blank spaces in books of the Minim, so Christians, we may not save them from a fire. May I bury my son if I would not burn them together with their divine names if they come to my hand. For even if one pursued me to slay me or a snake pursued me to bite me, I would enter a heathen temple for refuge, but not the houses of these people. So they're not allowed to go into Christian churches, and they're taught to spit and utter a curse when they pass Christians or just a Gentile cemetery or a church or even just a Gentile city. For the latter know of God, yet deny him. So you deny God, and they will destroy you. Of them, David said, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. I am not grieved. So hate people that hate God. I am not grieved with those that rise up against thee. I hate them with perfect hatred. Oh, it's such holy hatred. So hot right now. The count them mine enemies. And just as we may not rescue them from a fire, so may we not rescue them from a collapse of debris or from water or from anything that may destroy them. So don't count on a rabbinical Jew to save your life if you're ever facing death. Here we have Sanhedrin 59a. And again, these aren't conspiracy theory anti-Semite sites. This is from the Sefaria. This is the biggest Jewish online database. It says, a Gentile who engages in Torah study is liable to receive the death penalty. So no wonder that they will kill any, if they have the power, any Gentile that studies their Torah and their Talmud is the death penalty, because they don't want this getting out. for obvious reasons. This prohibition is included in the prohibition of robbery, as a Gentile who studies Torah robs the Jewish people of it. The punishment of a Gentile who studies Torah is like that of one who engages in intercourse with a betrothed young woman, which is execution by stoning. Kill them. If they study our Torah, kill them. Again, Barakat 58a. Does God perform such miracles for liars? He replied, scoundrel, aren't Gentiles called donkeys, as it is written, whose flesh is as the flesh of donkeys? Rabbi Sheila saw that he was going to tell the Persian authorities that he called them donkeys. He said, this man has the legal status of a pursuer. He seeks to have me killed. And the Torah said, if one comes to kill you, kill him first. He struck him with the staff and killed him. So, you want to research what they believe, their supremacist beliefs towards the Goyim? You want to get online and sound the alarm and try to enlighten the Gentiles to this supremacist threat that has enormous power and influence in the world? They are justified to kill you first. I go around saying what they think about Goyim, saying that they call us donkeys, and I'm going to go tell the authorities or just tell it. That's hate speech. Got to shut that down. Their religion is you can't criticize them. And again, they always try to make it seem like it's self-defense. So they hate us. We spread the word that they hate us, and somehow that means we're trying to kill them for exposing their hatred. This is their motto, rise and kill first. It's a book here. Israel is about Israel's targeted assassinations. Rise and Kill First describes the targeted killings carried out by Mossad, and the book's title is inspired by a statement in the Talmud. If someone comes to kill you, rise up and kill him first. And it's not just if they come to kill you. If you are going to spread awareness about what they believe, they consider that means you're a pursuer, you're pursuing them, and they can kill you. If someone threatens you to ruin you, to kill you, you kill him first, says Rabbi Ariel. So not just to kill you, but to threaten you or to ruin you. So obviously I'm a threat, and I'm ruining their shtick here with their supremacist beliefs, and I'm threatening them by waking up Gentiles to their hatred, so they're justified in killing me. That's what they believe. And they're able to get away with this all over. If this was Christians saying this kind of stuff, it would be headline news everywhere. There'd be condemnation. There would be heads rolling. Same thing with Islam. But no, they're protected. They're able to get away with it. Again, telling the truth and when it is permissible to lie. One may claim ignorance of a certain Talmudic tractate even if one does actually know it. So they say this is in order to practice humility, and they use the example that, say your rabbi doesn't know of some teaching and you do know it, you're supposed to be humble and not say anything to embarrass them and to keep the peace. But this is also has been interpreted that they're allowed to lie to the Gentiles when we ask them, do you believe we're idol worshipers? They're justified in lying to promote peace, to promote the 7 Noahide laws, to recoup their losses. So they're able to claim ignorance about this stuff if we call them on it. What is going on here? Hold on. Remove effects so we can see these. Remove attributes. Okay, it says Shilkan Aruka Yora De'e 157. It says, if he can trick them so that they will not think he is an idolater, this is permitted. In other words, they can pretend to be Christians to trick the Christians and to convert them all to Noahide laws. Michael Brown, Dr. Brown. A non-Jew, Mishnah Torah once again, a non-Jew who busies himself with Torah is liable with his life. He must involve himself in their 7 commandments only. The principle here, okay, sorry, I have to read the whole thing. There is no reason to mention if he invented his own holiday. The principle here is that we do not permit them to make a new religion and create new commandments for themselves based on their own reasoning. No religions or holidays for the Goyim. Only practice the holidays that the rabbis are allow you to do. That's the level of delusion they have. They may only become righteous converts and accept upon themselves all of the commandments, or they must observe their own 7 laws only and not add or detract from them. If a non-Jew busies himself with the Torah or made Shabbos or made up something new, we give him lashes and punish him and tell him that he is liable with the death penalty for doing this, but he is not executed. You have therefore learned that even a Gentile who engages in Torah study is considered like a high priest. That's another take on it. The Gemara answers, the reference is to a Gentile who engages in the study of the 7 Noahides. It is mitzvah for a Gentile to study the religious law that pertains to the 7 Noahide laws, and when he does so, he is highly regarded.
So he told me, that guy, that he's trying to learn Kabbalah. So I told him, oh, that's very nice, but I'll tell you the truth. You should concentrate in the 7 Noahilos. So what I told him.
Don't study Kabbalah, don't study the Torah and find out their end times agenda of conquering the world and exterminating the Gentiles and enslaving the Esau as a servant and destroying the ones that won't go along with it. Don't study that. Just follow the 7 Noahide laws. These people think that we're stupid. Quite frankly, maybe we are stupid that they're able to get away with this like they do.
Hilos. So what I told that guy was that it's very nice, but he's in the wrong channel. He should put all of his energy in learning about the 7 Noahilos and spreading them. And this he will bring light to his life, and he would live when he will be deserving miracles in his life. If he will be busy with the 7 Noahilos.
Be busy with the 7 Noahide laws, and I saw in the comments, yeah.
So I told him, oh, that's very nice.
Very nice. Very nice, Sacha Baron Cohen. Very nice. Okay, we got to do some more translating here. This is Yossi Gervitz. This is from David Sheen's YouTube also. When Israel is mighty. We've got a state, we've got weapons, we've got a Jewish army. This hasn't happened for 2,000 years. What this means is that God wants us to bring about the Messiah. God wants us to build the temple. They skip over all the conditions that are imposed by the Talmud on what a Messiah must be. And they go back to Maimonides, and Maimonides says there's no difference between our time and the time of the Messiah, other than the subordination to kingdoms. This word comes up a lot. They want subordination. They want to subjugate the Gentiles. In other words, the only difference between the time of Maimonides, he died in 1204, and the time of the Messiah is who is subordinate to whom? Are the Jews subordinate to the Goyim, to the other nations? Or can they subordinate the other nations? And guess what? Thanks to Trump and his fake patriot, make Israel great again agenda, and the Abraham Accords, and handing over all the tech, and letting Israel build up as a cybersecurity juggernaut, the Christians are helping them implement full world tyranny, new world order with their anointed king, one world religion, Noahide laws, one world currency, one world government out of Jerusalem. Mark of the beast, you cannot buy or sell. This is what is all happening right now that the cucked Christian Zionists are helping the Jews accomplish. That is how Maimonides begins the Book of Kings. What a king can do. You don't have to first build the temple to be a king. You don't need God to come down and say, this is the Messiah. You just have a king. Their king, their Messiah, is a worldly, political, military leader. Well, there's two Messiahs, Moshiach ben Yosef and David, and they serve different roles, and they reincarnated every generation, and they can fill all these different archetypes. But the point is it's a real world ruler. So it's a real world threat. And I don't see, there's so many gatekeepers and shills and sellouts online that won't share this material, that won't have me on for interviews, that won't ever talk about the Jewish supremacist, the big elephant in the room. So many people that are enabling and help Alex Jones resuscitate his career and his credibility, and all these frauds, these Zionist propagandists, gatekeepers, so many egomaniac, narcissist, lunatics online attacking and just it is very discouraging sometimes. So many shills, so many frauds. I had the video the other day of the rabbi saying that, oh yeah, look at those two towers. Say bye-bye to those towers. This is, yeah, I know, raging humanist. Well, they won't, these guys that are like Jason Burmis, who's like, oh, 9/11 truth. Yeah, I'm about 9/11 truth. And I made Loose Change and these Invisible Empire and these documentaries. I sent him the clip of the rabbi bragging of foreknowledge that the Twin Towers are going to be destroyed. The top rabbi in Israel bragging about foreknowledge of 9/11, and Jason Burmis doesn't even want to give that a share. Because so many people are scared to talk about these issues. They're scared of being attacked by the anti-Semitism mob. And that's going to be our downfall. Cowards, sellouts, traitors, gatekeepers, retards, and frauds. Yeah, of course Burmis wouldn't touch it. A lot of people I shared it with actually didn't share that video. Because in general, what religious Zionists actually want is for the land of Israel to be for Jews only. Jay Dyer blocked me on Twitter, and I don't even know who he is. Does he talk about Zionist power? I doubt it. I see him guest hosting on InfoWars, and showing up on Alex Jones's panel the other day. What does this say here? Now the situations for the Christians, on the other hand, will be really bad. And all these Christians, Pompeo, oh, we love the Jews. Begley. According to Judaism, they are idolaters, and you have to kill them, even if they do not resist Jewish rule. Dr. Brown, Paul Begley, all of these frauds and Zionists. I mean, John Hagee, literally paid by Israel to be IDF propaganda. You got to support people that are willing to tell the truth about Jewish power, guys. This is the issue. People that want to pretend like they're truth tellers, but like Alex Jones and Tim Pool, and oh, we don't care about the censorship. We're speaking the truth, and we're being censored. Oh yeah, they don't want you talking about this. They won't mention Jews. Obviously, the one group of people that is so untouchable and unnameable, and the ADL and all the censorship and everything, but they just won't name them. In Jerusalem, religious seminary students have a despicable habit. They urinate or defecate on churches. What they're commanded to do, basically. I mean, they say Jesus is boiling in hell and excrement for opposing the rabbis. That's the punishment for opposing the sages, by the way, for anybody. Boiling in excrement. If you go there and talk to the church staff, you'll hear it from every church suffers these supremacist attacks. Spitting on clergymen on the street is something that happens regularly. If the priest has the gall to hit the person back, or slap him, then he is deported. They cancel the residency permit to the country. Missionary threat. Oh, we're under threat. Esau wants to kill us. We can kill him. Christianity, the historical arch enemy of Judaism, is going to get a serious beating once the religious Zionists are in power. I don't know how Christian Zionists need to see this and understand that they are being duped. They are being used as stupid pawns. And they're going to be they're the number one target. They hate the Christians more than anybody. The Christian fundamentalists who send them money apparently don't understand what they're dealing with. Yeah, they're ignorant sheep being led by Judas goats. Okay, and now we're about to wrap it up here. We're almost at the end. So Shalom, guys. Who would have thought that Shalom opened up such a horrendous rabbi hole of supremacy and conquering and Deuteronomy. So this is just a couple verses of supremacy. These are the verses that the Jews believe are talking about them. This is why they're supremacists. Just to read a few of them, to let you know, this isn't it's just the Torah Jews are the good Jews, and it's just the Talmud that's the problem, not the Torah. This is the Torah. And by the way, the Talmud is commentary on the Torah, and it doesn't fundamentally change any of the views. It just basically comes up with way worse stuff. Thanks for hosting, High Impact. You're the man. Deuteronomy 26:19. He has declared that he will set you in praise, fame, and honor, high above all the goyim he has made, and that you will be a people holy to the Lord your God, as he has promised. Genesis 27:29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. And this is the blessing that Isaac gave Jacob. So when he says, let the mother's sons bow down to thee, he means Esau, which the Jews believe is the Gentiles, and more specifically, Rome, Christianity, and Europeans. Deuteronomy 14:2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. I need the voice, but I don't have it set up with the new mic. And the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. I love seeing rabbis try to defend this stuff and say, oh, there's nothing supremacist about this. Oh, no, it's actually a burden that we're hated because we're chosen and we're special and we're just spreading the will of God around the world. And it's a burden to be chosen. Yeah, try to rationalize these verses. Deuteronomy 15:6. For the Lord thy God blessed thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. Literally, a commandment in the Torah saying, God commanding them to lend, to use usury, to enslave the goyim, but do not borrow from the goyim. There's also rules in the Talmud about charging interest to a fellow Jew differently than you charge to a Gentile. And then thou shalt reign over the nations, but they shall not reign over thee. So you shall reign over the goyim. This is what they believe is their messianic promise. Deuteronomy 23:20. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it. Deuteronomy 7:2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Very loving, very ethical and moral, right, Rabbi? Isaiah 60:16. This is my personal favorite. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of the Gentile kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Suck the milk of the Gentiles. Nothing bad about that, right, guys? Isaiah 61:6. But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. Suck the riches of the Gentiles. Eat the riches of the Gentiles, and suck the milk of the Gentiles. How many metaphors can they come up with for conquering the Gentiles? It's just getting ridiculous. And now, what do we have here? This is the last clip.
The cities of evil. I mean, they exaggerated so much in their evil that God decided to destroy them. When such a thing, when evil reaches the paroxysm, its paroxysm, that's the time when God decides to destroy. Of course, the word extermination of a population is not very pleasant to the ears of people. Nevertheless, as it happened in the time of Noah.
Did you hear it? This is him justifying exterminating Gentile nations that don't follow the 7 Noahide laws. He's referring to Sodom and Gomorrah, but he's using it to apply the justification for exterminating countries.
Is not very pleasant to the ears. Of course, the word extermination of a population is not very pleasant to the ears of people. Nevertheless, as it happened in the time of Noah, we know that God practically destroyed the whole world, except Noah and his family and all the animals that went with him. So despite the fact that God promised not to destroy the world anymore, but what was meant is the world in general, all the world. But when it comes to one part of the world, one city here and there, if they exaggerated very much in their kinds of evil ways, then one has to expect the possibility of destruction.
So God can destroy nations, so can we. That's the justification. We say they're evil, they don't want to worship us and follow our God, they're evil and satanic, they will be destroyed. And here's a little bit more. We curse Christianity 3 times a day. We Jews and Christians, can Jews and Christians truly reconcile? Again, it just says that Christianity, we curse Christianity 3 times a day. Christianity is, quote, an abomination of desolation, paganism that maliciously falsified symbols borrowed from Judaism. Regrettably, while the church is moving forward in calling for interfaith consolation and fraternity, Jewish Orthodox circles are reviving the old controversy and claiming victory. Rabbi even expects Christians to believe in the Jewish people in place of Jesus because Jew is the divine. That's what Noahides is. They don't want, like in Kabbalah and Meditation for the Nations, it says, don't worship one Jew, worship all the Jews and be Noahides. Gradually, the Christians are discovering that the Jew does not need to Christianize, but the Christian needs to Judaize. That's their agenda. And then it goes on to say that their idol worship and Esau and Edom need to be destroyed. Oh, and then it says, when Esau comes and embraces Jacob, don't buy it because there's dots over the kiss. He kissed him. Just Talmudic nonsense. I don't want to get much more into it. I want to wrap it up here. I do have one more clip from this rabbi, though. I put this up on Twitter yesterday, and I feel like playing it. It's a good one. It's the destruction of the Jews. He says that actually, let's do the Jewish supremacy one first.
I think it's very logical to love the Jew. Listen, the Jew
After watching everything I showed you, and this isn't me spouting, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys this is preaching to the choir, but if anybody is like a hater watching, this is heavily sourced. I am showing you all over the Talmud and the Torah and straight from the horse's mouth coming out of these rabbis, everything I'm saying. None of this is conspiracy. None of this is my hatred, although I do despise their hatred for me. Is that allowed? But
I think it's very logical to love the Jew. Listen, the Jew was the cause for the biggest religions in this world. Christianity owes us its religion. Islam owes us its religion. I told you that Muhammad, I hope you don't say Alav Shalom, but Muhammad, he wanted Judaism. You know, the biggest thanks that we owe is by being Jews. When you get up in the morning and you find out, I am a Jew, you should give a nice dance before you go to work.
Nothing supremacist about that. When you wake up in the morning, you're supposed to say, I'm a Jew, and then you dance. That's what they believe. They also do the prayer, thank God for not making me a goy or a woman. Don't let any Jewish people anywhere ever call you a white supremacist or talk about anti-Semitism or talk about supremacy in any way.
Because you have no idea how lucky we are that we are Jews. Because the world is going crazy with jealousy about this.
Just jealous,
because
boys.
The world knows more than what we know, the meaning of being a Jew. Why do you think they hate us? Why? What have we done? We asked you a question before. What is wrong that they found in the Jews? You cannot go to a Jewish neighborhood and be scared. So, it is only logical and most natural to love the Jew.
So you're not going to get beat up and mugged in a Jewish neighborhood, so you must love the Jew, and there's no threat at all whatsoever. Delusional. It's just so delusional. I've watched so many. I've downloaded probably 20 videos, 20-hour-long videos of this rabbi, and every video is full of gems like this, of jaw-dropping sound bites.
Jews should be beloved everywhere, you know? Michael, I'm telling you, Jews should be beloved everywhere. Wherever you go to China, you know what should be? The Chinese should say, oh my God, this is a Jew. Let's bow.
Let's bow.
Of course, I sound presumptuous. I sound... That's not that. The point is that the nations, they know that. They know. They say it.
The nations know it.
I told you this a million times.
A million times.
It's very
and you know what? They're not far off from getting the Chinese to bow. They can't blend in like, oh, what's up? I'm a fellow Chinese and subvert that way. But we have here Times of Israel. China discovers Talmud and the Kabbalah, the match made in heaven with Israel's tech and China's manufacturing capability, the Belt and Road Initiative. And let's see, we have one more clip here, the new one. He says, the world was made for Jews. This is what he says here.
We already learned in the past weeks that all the very hard things that will happen before the Mashiach comes. We will tell you soon all the other signs. But why does it have to be hard? There is a statement in the Talmud that depending on our deeds, how he will come. Either he will come on anenei choshech, on clouds of darkness, which means wars and pestilence and earthquakes, or depending on how we behave, he will come on anenei kavod, on clouds of glory, which means no need for bombs, no need for sickness, no need for suffering. But that depends entirely how we Jews perform in the world.
I like that, Western Wallace. Being counter-Semitic is to be counter-Jewish supremacism. Exactly.
Because if there is a problem, I hesitate to say this before you, my friends, but if there is an earthquake in Haiti It's not necessarily because of Haiti. Our sages says, "En pur'anut ba'al ha'olam ela biglal Israel." Every destruction that happens in the world is because of the Jewish people.
Talk about the self-centered, the world revolves around them narcissism. They think an earthquake in Haiti is because of the Jews. They're responsible.
The Jews have a tremendous responsibility. We don't like to hear that. And the world hates us, even though they don't know that as a fact, but they know it in their subconscious.
Oh, we know it as a fact of how reprehensible your beliefs are. But this is the same thought, that they believe all Gentiles are born hating them, and it's in our subconscious mind, and it's embedded in nature. It's a natural law. We're born hating them, and we don't even know why. It's just subconscious. This is what they believe. And if you believe that, and they believe that in the Messianic era, or even now, they're saying we're going to eradicate anti-Semitism, we're going to end anti-Semitism. Do a little logic, put the two statements together. How are you going to get rid of anti-Semitism without getting rid of the anti-Semites? Because you can't just change their mind if you think that they're irrational and that the time for talk is over, is what they say. It's time to punish them and put them in prison.
In a way, we are also the reason for the life of the world. Don't forget that.
They're the reason for the life of the world. Again, the world is made for them. We're just here to serve them. That's what they believe.
Our sages said, "Ilmale Israel," if it was not for my people Israel, there would be no existence for the world.
Without Jews, there would be no existence of the world.
The main reason why the world is alive is because there is still one Jew or two.
The world only exists because there's one or two Jews still left.
So at least that should be taken in consideration by some of the Goyim who might know that if they suffer, it's because of us.
We suffer because of you, okay.
Oh, that we suffer because of them, that is something else. But that they suffer because of us is something that is philosophically inscribed in the annals of Jewish philosophy.
Jewish philosophy. The twisted world of Jewish philosophy. Okay, guys, that is all I have for today. I really appreciate you all joining me and participating in the chat. I'm going to have to do a news stream soon. I had Charlotte Iserbeat, who wrote The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. She was supposed to come on Sunday and then today, but we had to reschedule twice. She's getting up there in age. I believe she's 95 and just had a brain surgery. So we're going to try to get with her and get her on after the Thanksgiving holidays. But if you guys missed them, the BitChute exclusives, we had 3 interviews last week. Mark Collette, John Friend, Kevin McDonald, a powerful hour with Dr. Kevin McDonald, and of course, the compilation of the Kabbalah rabbi saying some just ridiculous things per usual. Let me get the chat here and let's wrap it up. Distributing the chat. Oh, I want to let you guys know, knowmorenews.org now. You click on the video and you can scroll down and there's comments now. So the comments are so bad on BitChute. I'm thinking about just shutting down the BitChute comments and then opening it up on my website. That'll help get people over to the website. I'll be able to ban the few bad apples that want to fill up the whole comments and reply to every person and just spam 100 comments and take over the comment sections. So we're going to be doing that, I think. So if you guys want to find the comments, they're going to be on knowmorenews.org. Make sure to subscribe, BitChute, DLive, knowmorenews.org. Bookmark it. I'm going to be putting the upcoming shows on here now so you can see when I'm going to be streaming and guest and appearances on other shows. I was on Kevin Barrett's show on Friday. He had me on to talk about the rabbi with foreknowledge of 9/11 for an hour. It was a good talk. Hopefully I'll be able to get that and upload that soon. But thanks everybody for sticking with me today. I hope you guys all have, if I don't see you, all have a good Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. And stay tuned. I've got the Kabbalah Freemasonry video is coming. And I've got to do a news breakdown video with all the news that's been happening. It'll probably take me 2 hours to go through all of it. It's been a while since I've done a news blitz. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Your support is appreciated. I can't do it without you. It's a group effort. The censorship, I'm suspended on Twitter, banned from Facebook, banned from PayPal, banned from YouTube. To get the message out about these Jewish supremacists, I can't do it without you. And you guys got to support independent media or else it'll evaporate. It'll disappear. They're doing everything they can to silence us. They're not just silencing me. They are silencing the truth. They're silencing anybody out there that is a threat to them. So, thank you all, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care. Amalek Rising.